Well, welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today, that's right, we got another QX80. Enjoy more beef. Florida Beef Council. Looks like a pretty clean truck for what it is. I got to figure out a fix for these fairings on these because they have a tendency to just break. Pretty clean truck, got some stone chips, which isn't too surprising. Yeah, clips broke. I'll have to figure out, maybe I need to epoxy those or something when I've got them off. That guy's hit. Got some door dings, not too surprising. Ding there. Decent tires. 22. Brakes don't look horrible. Brakes also don't look horrible. Missing a lug nut. Probably had wheel locks on it. Ooh, that's a different tire. That's 2018. These lenses are kind of fading. Not too bad though. A couple of stone chips in the windshield. What else we got? Oh, that was my phone. That's a horrible way. Oh, that was a 2020. It's 3 different years. What's this one? It's on the inside. I don't know what year that one is. But I think we have 4 different tires on this car. Door dings. Honestly, a super clean vehicle for how many miles are on it. This one actually has 230,000 miles on it, which is kind of hard to believe. But I see Yukon XLs and Suburbans and Excursions with 4 and 5 and 600,000 miles on them all the time, so who's to say these high-tech vehicles can't make it that far? I suppose any vehicle can make it as far as the owner wants to pay to have it continuously repaired. That's worked pretty good. Sounds weird. Whoop, got jumper cables, first aid kit, ice scraper. Ice scraper? Why do you have an ice scraper? This car's from Alabama. How much ice do you guys get on your windshields in Alabama? Well, you probably know that we've been doing these VK56 engines and doing timing chains, and the high pressure fuel pumps have a tendency to take out the passenger side chain. This one's no exception. 230,000 miles, 239.99. And you probably can't see that, but the scan tool is telling us some things. We have closed loop bank 2. I'll have to look at what that is. That's probably a converter. Multiple misfire. PO300. Fuel pressure regulator. That's the high pressure fuel pump, or high pressure fuel pump cam is worn. O2 sensor bank 1. Sorry, bank 2 sensor 1. So it needs a front O2 sensor on bank 2. Fuel rail pressure too high. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet. Fuel rail pressure sensor A circuit high. Well, that might be, maybe it was unplugged in that, oops, and that caused that. clear these codes and see which ones come back. P0011, intake valve timing control, bank 1. So our bank 1 chain is probably stretched. Intake valve timing control B2. Actually, that's probably our VVT solenoids are shot. Take a look at those codes. P0725, engine rotation, history code. I'll have to look that one up. I haven't seen that one yet. So, when you guys wonder why it's so expensive to work on these vehicles, this is a big part of it. All this stuff's electronic. This is my new Snap-on Solus Plus, which I got a pretty good deal on, and it's pretty fast, honestly. So that's our OBD2 codes and our permanent codes. Catalyst efficiency below threshold, bank 2, so it needs a bank 2 cat. Heater control, bank 2 sensor 1. That's the same sensor we had a code for earlier. P1168, I'll have to look that up. And fuel pressure regulator, a control circuit open. So we have quite a bit of things to look into and figure out what we have going on. This vehicle does actually start and run, but it runs like poo. Vibration, runs horribly, got good oil pressure. Engine temp came up pretty quickly. I just pulled the truck forward. We got a wet spot coming from under the truck. Let's get this thing on a rack. See where the engine coolant leak is coming from. And then we'll figure out a course of action. We have coolant leaks and multiple misfires. That's not good. Alright, so I added about a half a gallon of water to the cooling system. My engine temperature didn't drop any, so that's a good sign that we're not completely out of engine coolant. I just fired her back up. And actually running better than she was the last time I drove it. Oh, not looking too bad. I'll probably check our tie rod ends and ball joints and such. These front coil springs I have seen break from time to time down low. These are both okay. Brakes are pretty new. Don't see any exhaust leaks. Normally the converter's cracked. Oh, it's dripping on me. And it is dripping coolant out of the back of the engine, which is probably, yep, it's coming down from up top up there. Let's figure out what that is. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's just a heater hose leaking. A little bit of corrosion on the subframe and lower control arms, but not too bad. Rockers look amazing. The exhaust is, yeah, questionable, but it doesn't have any holes in it. And it doesn't have any leaks in it yet. CV boots look good. Sway bar bushings look okay. Rear brakes are done. Looks like it's got new rear shocks. Those have been replaced somewhat recently. This thing doesn't have air ride problems. Oh, it's got a new air compressor. So the air ride issues have already been resolved, which are common on these. Compressor and rear bags. A little bit of an exhaust leak there. I'll have to check. That would be... That's our post-cat 02. So that's not going to be causing a... yeah, that one is too. A little bit. Those won't cause our cat codes though. So everything's looking pretty good on this car. I would 230,000 miles. I would, if I was going to fix it, I would put new front struts on it. It's going to need sway bar bushings. They're shot. Yep, needs front sway bar bushings. What was that noise? With 230,000 miles, if we go into this engine and fix it, I will probably recommend cam phase actuators as well as a electronic cooling fan, just to be preventative. They don't have to be done, but I do recommend them with this kind of mileage. So looking like a pretty solid truck to fix if you're willing to drive a truck that long. So definitely got some curb checks, not too bad. Been punched in the nose a time or two. Where'd the rest of that goes? The tire hitting it? Tire must be hitting it. Wore it out. Huh, that's unique. Man, I wish I could find trucks this clean up here. I'd fix them and drive them. Alright, I got a little bit of fluid coming out of here. Looks like it's an axle seal. Not real bad, but something to take note of. Probably not worth cracking yet. Transmission, transfer case look good. Not too bad. Let's see where our coolant leak's coming from. Definitely coming from up there. See it on the back of the cylinder head up there. So I'll have to get a mirror and look at the back of that cylinder head. Definitely not those guys. I may actually have to pull the intake off to see that. So we know it's got a coolant leak. We know it's got misfires. I'll go through and decipher all the codes tonight so we can talk about that in the morning. It does have a new high pressure fuel pump put on it, and a new, I believe they said they put a new puck in it as well. But the puck was damaged, so more than likely it's going to be damaged again. If you pull that puck out and it has damage to it, you just might as well stop and decide whether you're going to crack the engine apart and put a chain in it, because it just destroys that puck in no time once it's damaged. But super clean truck, seems to run okay. Multiple misfires could be due to many different reasons. I don't think it's been overheated to the point of cooking the head gaskets. Oil's not horrible. It's hard to like aim and do that one-handed. So, well, that's a decision the customer decided to go with. We're going to put 150,000 mile engine in his 220,000 mile QX80. Ooh, it came with the Did they break it? Because that's like a $400 part. Oh, they cut the harness. Yeah, that might be okay. Looks pretty clean. It's not all salty and corrosion-y. They cut all of the harnesses off of it. Ooh, we'll put a new bearing on that guy. We're going to put a new water pump on it anyway. We'll pull this guy off, check the chain, and we will pull this guy off and check the chain. New VVT solenoids, new water pump. Transfer our starter. Boy. I bet that harness was probably an expensive piece. Oh well. Pretty clean engine, really. I'm happy with that. It has been resealed once, so it's had chains done to it at least once. So I would say we'll probably have a good chain. We'll pop the high pressure pump off real quick and check the bucket. Let's do that real quick. That's a couple of 12s. That guy got bent. Looks like we'll be putting a new high pressure pump on it either way. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. It's nice seeing one without cam wear. Very nice. That's a good sign. This engine's gonna live a good long life. I'm still gonna pull that cover and verify the chain's not stretched, but that puts us steps ahead. And also miles behind. It's so much more work to change an engine, but we do have to do converters on this one as well as replace the engine. So now it's time to get to work. That chain's not too bad. It's got some stretch to it. It's probably got 50,000 miles on this chain. Nice and clean. It's definitely been serviced correctly. Well, that's where this one's headed. We're going to pull the nose off, pull the engine and transmission out of the bottom of it, pull the engine out of the front of it. We do it that way because the flywheel has a bunch of teeth on it, and if you bend one of those, it creates problems. You have to get to do it again. So basically, engine and transmission come out of the bottom, and then the transmission and transfer case comes out the bottom. Differential and rack comes out the bottom, and the engine comes out the nose. And then we get to put it all back together. But we're doing that to be preventative. We've got a 150,000 mile salvage yard engine with a 6-month warranty on the internals. The chain and pump and lifter cam all look good on it. So we're going to move forward. Excuse me. We're going to move forward with the engine replacement, and we're going to update some items on it while we have it apart. Essentially, we will be doing radiator, water pump, any pulleys that we see need resolved, thermostats, obviously coolant, any consumables on the front that need to be done, and then that way when it's all back together we don't have to worry about cooling system issues as much as we would. and should make a nice car, really. This gentleman purchased this vehicle at a really good deal and decided to send it to us to have it reconditioned, and he's gonna hopefully put 100,000 miles on it. It's already had new rear shocks and rear air compressor put on it, so that's a step ahead because these things are known for having rear air ride problems. But solid car. I have seen these with way more miles than just 150, 200,000 miles on them. So we'll see how far we can make some of these cars last. I mean, this is the modern age of automobiles where 2 and 3 and 4 and 500,000 miles is not unheard of. I personally have this truck right here that's still got the original 6-liter diesel in it. It's got 420,000 miles on it. Still running the original head gaskets, head bolts. It is starting to leak some oil though. I am probably gonna have to pull the engine out and reseal it just because of the age of the gaskets on the oil pan and the oil pan separator are drying up and shrinking, and now they're starting to leak oil. So I will probably have to do some work to that one this winter, but that's a project for a different day. At any rate, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. As always, have a safe day. We'll see you on the next one. Go have some Florida Beef Council beef. Yummy!